Before you drop a quarter into a vending machine or toss one into a fountain for luck, ask yourself this: what if that small piece of silver alloy was not worth just 25 cents, but hundreds, even thousands of dollars? What if it carried the story of a state, of a revolution, of a colony that became the cornerstone of the American identity? This is not just any coin. This is the 2000 Maryland State Quarter, a coin that is more than just change in your pocket. It's a time machine disguised in copper and nickel, minted as part of the revolutionary 50 state quarters program. The Maryland Quarter holds within it not only the pride of the old line state, but secrets of minting errors, hidden rarities, unspoken histories, and a legacy that stretches back to the very roots of the United States. This video isn't just going to show you a coin, it's going to take you deep into a forgotten world where history, value, rarity, politics, and art collided in the year 2000 when America looked back to honor each of its states with a quarter. The Maryland coin emerged with a story few could match, adorned with the State House dome, the oldest still in legislative use in the United States. This quarter silently screams revolution with every single detail you see. That dome is not just architecture, it's a symbol of American defiance. It was here that Maryland's delegates decided to stand by the Declaration of Independence. It was here that George Washington resigned as commander-in-chief, setting the foundation for the idea of civilian government, and it was here that the nation began imagining itself free and sovereign. This coin holds all of that compressed into a surface smaller than a cookie, and that is just the beginning. Because the real mystery starts with how it was struck, where it was struck, and what errors came out of that process. From rare off-center strikes to double dies, from coins that slip through with missing clad layers, to those minted on experimental planchets, the 2000 Maryland Quarter has produced a surprising number of collectible anomalies that are still being discovered to this day. And while some of these error coins have sold for hundreds of dollars, others are believed to be so rare that their actual value could skyrocket if one ever appears at auction again. Now let's talk about the minting process in Philadelphia and Denver, and the lesser-known proof coins minted in San Francisco. These weren't just coins, they were deliberate pieces of history meant to mark the new millennium. The machines used, the alloys, the punches, the dies, and even the quality control practices all played a role in determining which quarters became priceless rarities and which faded into the pockets of time. And if you think this is only about coin collecting, think again. The Maryland Quarter is a story of political symbolism. It's a story of how states chose to represent themselves in the dawn of a new century. Some states went with nature, some with industry, but Maryland stood proud with the dome that had seen revolution and transformation. The intricate engraving, the leaf ornamentation, the Latin motto, Fati Masci Parole Femin, which translates to manly deeds, womanly words. All these etchings on this tiny coin are tied to deeper roots of Maryland's colonial identity, which goes all the way back to the early 1600s and was marked by religious struggle, tobacco, wealth, border wars, and rebellion. In this video, we are going to go back to those centuries. We are going to explore why Maryland's nickname, the Old Line State, matters, and how it became so closely tied to the bravery of its troops during the American Revolution. We are going to follow the birth of the State House in Annapolis, from its wooden shingle dome to its foundational role in the Continental Congress. And we are going to examine how all the symbolism was chosen and refined during the State Quarter design competition. We'll also explore the financial side, the real current market values of the 2000 Maryland Quarters in circulated and uncirculated condition, how grading impacts value, how collectors use mint marks and die varieties to identify the truly valuable pieces, and what key features you need to look for with just a magnifier and good lighting. Whether you're a coin collector, a history lover, or just someone curious about the wealth hidden in everyday things, this is the story you've never been told. The next time someone hands you a Maryland Quarter, look twice. You might be holding a forgotten fortune and a piece of America's beating heart. The year is 2000 and the United States Mint is in full swing with one of the most ambitious and successful coin programs in American History: the 50-state quarters program launched in 1999. This initiative was more than just a celebration of American federalism, it was a masterstroke of public engagement, historical education, and numismatic innovation. Each quarter would commemorate a U.S. state in the order it ratified the Constitution or was admitted into the Union. And in the third release of the year 2000, the spotlight turned to the state of Maryland. This is not just a 25-cent piece. This is a gateway to a story that spans centuries, a story of rebellion, politics, architecture, war, revolution, and craftsmanship. The 2000 Maryland quarter, minted by the U.S. Mint, is a tribute to the old line state, and it carries with it not only symbols of state pride, but also rare minting errors, numismatic anomalies, and a deep historical resonance that many people overlook. To understand the Maryland quarter, we must first understand the history of Maryland itself. Founded as a colony in 1632 by Lord Baltimore, Maryland was originally envisioned as a haven for English Catholics escaping persecution. It was one of the original 13 colonies and played a pivotal role in the American Revolution. Its central location between the North and South made it a key player in political negotiations and military strategy. The term Old Line State is believed to refer to the Maryland line troops who bravely held the line during the Revolutionary War, specifically at the Battle of Long Island. Their discipline and sacrifice became legendary, earning the state its enduring nickname. When it came time to design the quarter that would represent Maryland, the decision was made to feature the Maryland State House located in Annapolis. This is no ordinary state capitol building. It is the oldest state capitol in continuous legislative use in the United States, and it is the only one to have served as the nation's capital during the Continental Congress era. It was in this very building that George Washington resigned his commission as Commander-in-Chief on December 23, 1783, an act that confirmed the supremacy of civilian authority over the military and set a powerful precedent for the new republic. The dome of the State House, which appears prominently on the Maryland quarter, is an architectural marvel constructed entirely of wood and built without nails. The dome has become a symbol not only of Maryland's colonial heritage, but of its revolutionary courage. Surrounding the dome on the coin are two white oak branches, a nod to the state tree, and a further symbol of strength and endurance. Beneath the image is the inscription, "The Old Line State," a succinct yet powerful reminder of Maryland's historical identity. Coin's obverse features the familiar profile of George Washington, adapted from John Flanagan's original 1932 design for the Washington quarter and consistent across all the state quarters issued from 1999 to 2008. The reverse design of the Maryland quarter was crafted by Maryland artist and engraver Thomas D. Rogers Sr., whose work with the U.S. Mint includes several prominent coin designs. His representation of the State House dome is not only accurate but rich in texture and dimensionality, capturing both the grandeur and subtlety of this historic structure. Now, let us turn to the production details. The 2000 Maryland quarter was struck at 3 facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia and Denver mints produced circulation strikes with the familiar P and D mint marks respectively, while the San Francisco Mint produced proof versions of the coin in both clad and 90% silver varieties for collectors. The total mintage was immense. Over 1.2 billion Maryland quarters were produced for circulation, making it one of the more common state quarters in terms of volume. However, quantity does not necessarily mean lack of value, especially when it comes to numismatic rarities and minting aurors among collectors. The Maryland quarter is known for several interesting error varieties, including off-center strikes, double dies, die cracks, and coins struck on improperly prepared planchets. One of the most intriguing varieties is the missing clad layer error, which results in a coin appearing copper in color because the outer nickel coating was never applied. These errors are rare and can fetch between $100 and $500 depending on condition and certification by a third-party grader. Another highly sought after variety is the double die reverse, where certain elements of the coin, such as the leaf veins or dome windows, show signs of doubling. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly between impressions. These types of errors can be difficult to spot without magnification, but they are cherished by collectors and often command high premiums. Even more valuable are full-step proof-like strikes from the Denver and Philadelphia mints in mint state grades such as Miss 67 and higher. Only a few hundred Maryland quarters have been graded at this level by PCGs and NGC combined, and these coins regularly sell for several $100s at auction, particularly if they exhibit strong luster, minimal contact marks, and good strike definition. Let us now look at the broader historical and cultural significance of the quarter program and how Maryland's contribution fits into that narrative. The 50-state quarters program was launched by the U.S.